Ever felt your chest tighten up during a really stressful moment? Yeah, that's not just a feeling. Today, we're diving into the proven scientific link between what's happening up here in your mind and what's going on down here in your lungs.
And look, I think a lot of us get this on a gut level. As one source puts it, quote, anyone who has experienced an asthma attack during a stressful exam knows intuitively that the mind and lungs are deeply connected. It just feels right, you know?
Okay, so it feels true, but is that gut feeling actually backed up by hard science? Well, that's the big question we're going to tackle today.
All right, first up, the mind-lung connection. Let's move this from just a feeling to a cold, hard fact. You know, for the longest time, this was kind of seen as a maybe, but not anymore. We're talking decades of research now confirming that psychological stress isn't just some vague feeling. It creates measurable physical changes in your airways. We're talking about more inflammation, a dip in your immune function, and get this, it can even change how well your medications do their job. The big takeaway here, stress isn't just in your head. It's literally changing the landscape of your lungs. Okay, so let's pull back the curtain on your body's own stress alarm system. We're going to trace exactly how a simple thought can kick off this massive physical reaction.
Now, this is super important. Not all stress is the bad guy. You've got your short-term acute stress. That's your fight or flight response. And believe it or not, that can actually open your airways for a little bit. Your body handles it, it moves on, no big deal. But then there's chronic stress, the long-term stuff. That's the real villain here. It's the one that just grinds you down, promoting inflammation and hammering your immune system over time.
So how does this whole chain reaction even start? Well, it all goes back to your body's command center for stress, something called the HPA axis. Think of it like a relay race. Your brain spots a threat, and bam, the hypothalamus fires the starting pistol. That signal goes to the pituitary gland, which grabs the baton and sends the next message. And who's at the finish line? The adrenal glands. They get the message loud and clear and flood your body with cortisol, the main stress hormone. And here's the kicker. This whole system was designed for short sprints, not a 24/7 marathon.
And what happens when that system is running like a marathon? The results are, well, they're staggering. Check this out. One study found that people with COPD who also had high levels of stress were more than 4 times more likely to have a flare-up. I mean, think about that. That's not a small number. It's a huge, life-altering consequence. And that brings us to something that's, honestly, it's pretty tough. We're talking about the stress-breathing vicious cycle and why it feels almost impossible to escape. The absolute crucial thing to understand here is that this isn't a one-way street. It's not just stress makes breathing harder, it's bidirectional. Yes, stress absolutely worsens your breathing. But then the struggle to breathe, that panic, that anxiety, that creates even more stress. And this is how you get trapped. Just look at this cycle. It all kicks off with some kind of stressor, your job, a worry, you name it. That triggers the physical part. Your breathing gets worse. Maybe there's inflammation. Your airways constrict. Now, that physical feeling sparks fear and anxiety, right? That little voice in your head screaming, I can't breathe. And what does that do? It tells your body to pump out even more stress hormones, firing up that HPA axis all over again. And round we go. It's a powerful, nasty loop that feeds on itself. And if you thought that loop was bad, listen to this. This might be one of the most shocking parts of the whole thing. Being stuck in that chronic stress cycle can actually make the very medications you're taking less effective. I'm not kidding. Studies have found that it can slash the expression of certain medication receptors by up to 9.5-fold. What does that mean in plain English? It means the stress itself is sabotaging your treatment. It's actively fighting against the help you're trying to give your body. So, what do we do about this? How can we possibly get a handle on it? That's our next section, making stress visible. We're going on a hunt for the body's hidden clues. But here's the problem, right? Stress is invisible. It's subjective. How in the world do you track something like that? You might tell everyone you're fine, but is your body telling the same story? Well, the answer might be hiding in something called heart rate variability, or HRV. Now, it sounds super technical, but the core idea is actually really simple. It's just the tiny little variations in time from one heartbeat to the next. And this isn't just random static. It's a direct, measurable signal from your body's stress and recovery system. It's telling you how well you're bouncing back from life's challenges. And this chart here makes it crystal clear. If you have a high HRV, that's great. That's the green bar. It means your body is resilient, it's balanced, it's handling stress like a champ. But a low HRV, that red bar, that's a red flag.
It's linked to chronic stress, not recovering well, and generally worse health outcomes. Think of it like your body's built-in stress score.
Okay, all of this brings us to our final and, honestly, most important point: cracking your personal code. We're about to see why a one-size-fits-all plan for stress just doesn't work. And here is the absolute bottom line. Your body's reaction to stress is as unique to you as your own fingerprint. That's exactly why generic advice like, oh, just try to relax more, is so often useless. What triggers you and how your body responds is deeply, deeply personal. And why is it so personal? Well, just look at all the ingredients in this unique cocktail. You've got your genetics, the way you personally cope with things, how strong your support system is, your past experiences, any trauma, and of course, the underlying severity of your lung condition. All of these things mix together to create your unique stress signature. So that leaves us with one final big idea to think about. What if the real key to breathing better isn't just found in your inhaler? What if it's actually hidden in your own body's data? What if understanding your unique personal patterns is the secret to finally breaking that cycle and taking back control?